Have you ever found yourself feeling weaker than you used to be, struggling with balance, or waking up tired even after a full night's sleep? It's something many of us quietly face as the years go by. Those little aches, the forgetfulness, or the uneasy feeling that life is somehow slipping through our fingers. But what if I told you it's not just old age stealing your joy and energy? What if the truth behind these struggles isn't what we've been led to believe? Most of us think that muscle loss, memory lapses, or restless nights are just part of getting older, and we accept it without question. But the reality is, many of these challenges sneak up on us quietly, and because they seem normal, they're often ignored or dismissed. That's why they end up costing us so much happiness and freedom. In today's video, I'm going to share with you 9 common traps seniors fall into. Traps that quietly steal your joy and how you can gently escape them. By the end, you'll discover simple but powerful ways to reclaim your zest for life, one small step at a time. So, let's take this journey together. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Traps 1. Social isolation. One of the quietest, most sneaky traps that many seniors find themselves in is social isolation. It might start in the smallest ways: a missed phone call, an invitation politely declined, or a neighbor's wave that goes unanswered. At first, it doesn't seem like a big deal. After all, isn't it natural to slow down a bit as we get older? To enjoy more quiet moments and fewer hustles? But over time, what begins as peaceful solitude can turn into something much heavier, a feeling of being alone, even when surrounded by people. Many older adults experience this without even realizing it. Maybe your children live far away, or your friends have moved on or passed away. Maybe health issues or mobility challenges keep you at home more than you'd like. It's easy to assume that this is just part of aging, something unavoidable. But here's the question worth asking. Is social isolation something we have to accept as part of getting older? Or is there another way to see it? Recent studies in psychology and health sciences have shown us that social isolation is far more than just feeling lonely. It has real effects on our physical and mental well-being. Prolonged social isolation can increase risks for depression, cognitive decline, heart problems, and even shorten life expectancy. The National Institute on Aging calls social connection a key ingredient for healthy aging. It's not just about having someone to talk to. It's about how meaningful relationships stimulate our brain, keep us active, and give us a sense of purpose. When that connection fades, so can our joy and vitality. So, what can we do about it? How can we gently step out of this trap and invite more connection back into our lives, even if mobility, distance, or daily routines feel limiting? The good news is, reconnecting doesn't have to be overwhelming or complicated. Small, manageable steps can make a world of difference. One simple way is to embrace technology in a way that feels comfortable to you. Video calls, for example, can help you see and hear loved ones even when they're miles away. If smartphones or computers feel daunting, there are user-friendly devices designed specifically for seniors, with big buttons and easy menus. Calling a friend regularly, even just for a few minutes, creates a rhythm of connection that lifts spirits. Another gentle approach is to look for local community groups or senior centers. These places often host activities ranging from book clubs and gardening groups to gentle exercise classes or arts and crafts. Joining one of these can open doors to new friendships and shared experiences. Even volunteering, when you're able, offers both social contact and a sense of meaningful contribution. Remember, it's okay to start small. Maybe you begin by saying hello to a neighbor or going to a weekly coffee meetup. The key is to take that first step without pressure or judgment. Connection doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be real. Let me share a quick story about Dorothy, a 74-year-old woman from Ohio. After her husband passed away, Dorothy found herself spending most days alone in her house. She started feeling tired, sad, and even a bit anxious, but didn't want to bother anyone with her feelings. One day, her daughter encouraged her to try a local senior yoga class. At first, Dorothy was hesitant, thinking she wouldn't fit in or keep up. But she went anyway. Over the weeks, she made a few friends, laughed more, and began looking forward to her classes. She even started a small book club with women she met there. Dorothy says those new connections have given her life new energy and purpose. She feels more alive now than she did months before. If you see a little of yourself in Dorothy's story, remember this. Reaching out and building connections can be one of the kindest things you do for yourself. You don't have to wait for someone else to make the first move. Your community, whether near or far, is waiting for the unique joy and wisdom you bring. So today, I invite you to think about one small way you can reconnect. Maybe it's making a phone call you've been putting off, joining a new group, or even just stepping outside to greet a neighbor. Every little step counts. You deserve a life filled with friendship, laughter, and meaningful moments. Social connection is not just a luxury, it's essential to your health and happiness. And remember, you are never truly alone on this journey. Together, we can break free from the trap of isolation and rediscover the joy that comes from simply being connected. Traps 2. Dwelling on regrets. One of the most common, yet often overlooked, traps that quietly steal joy from many seniors is dwelling on regrets. It's a feeling almost all of us have faced at some point, looking back on the years gone by and wondering, what if I had done things differently? Maybe it's a career choice you wish you had made, words left unsaid to a loved one, or chances you didn't take when you were younger. These thoughts can sneak into your mind, sometimes when you're alone or trying to rest, and slowly, they weigh down your spirit. Many assume that holding on to these regrets is just part of aging, that it's natural to look back with some sadness. But what if there was a different way to see this? What if dwelling on regrets isn't an inevitable part of growing older, but rather a habit that we can choose to change? The truth is, science shows us that constantly focusing on past regrets can keep us trapped in negative emotions like sadness, guilt, and even anxiety. Psychological research tells us that ruminating over what could have been often leads to decreased mental well-being and can affect physical health too, raising stress levels and lowering immunity. Our brains are wired to remember and learn from past experiences, but when our minds get stuck replaying mistakes or missed opportunities, it can stop us from fully living in the present. This isn't just about feeling down, it can prevent you from enjoying the here and now, from embracing the simple pleasures that life still offers. So, how do we gently step away from this exhausting cycle of regret? The key is to learn to acknowledge those feelings without letting them take control, and to practice shifting our focus toward gratitude and possibility instead. A practical step is to try keeping a gratitude journal. Every day, write down just a few things you're thankful for, big or small. It might be a sunny morning, a kind word from a friend, or even the comfort of a favorite chair. This simple habit helps train your brain to notice positive moments, gradually crowding out those darker what-ifs. Another helpful practice is mindfulness, being fully present in the moment without judgment. Mindfulness meditation, even for just a few minutes daily, can calm the mind and reduce repetitive negative thoughts. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. It also helps to reframe your regrets as lessons rather than failures. Every experience, even the hard ones, has shaped who you are today and brought wisdom that younger generations can benefit from. Sharing your stories, whether with family, friends, or in community groups, can transform painful memories into powerful connections and inspiration. Let me share a story about Jim, a 69-year-old retired teacher from Vermont. For years, Jim carried a heavy burden of regret for not pursuing his dream of writing novels. He believed it was too late and that he had missed his chance. This weight made him withdraw from friends and even family. One day, a friend encouraged him to attend a local writing workshop. Jim was hesitant but gave it a try. Slowly, he began putting pen to paper, not worrying about perfection but enjoying the process. Through this, he found joy, purpose, and even made new friends who shared his passion. Jim told me once, "I realized that regret was just the past's way of reminding me to keep dreaming. It's never too late to start again." If you find yourself stuck in regret, know that you are not alone and that your past does not define your future. Every day offers a fresh chance to create new memories, new joys, and new reasons to smile. Instead of letting regrets hold you back, consider them signposts guiding you to what truly matters now. So today, I invite you to pause and reflect. What's one small step you can take to turn a regret into a new beginning? Maybe it's writing a letter you never sent, reaching out to an old friend, or simply starting a new hobby you always dreamed about. Remember, your story isn't finished yet. It's still being written, and the chapters ahead can be filled with hope, love, and fulfillment. You deserve a life that celebrates where you've been and looks forward with excitement to what's still possible. Don't let regrets steal your joy. Embrace the power of now, and allow yourself the kindness to move forward with courage and grace. Traps 3. Fear of change. Change can be one of the hardest things to face as we grow older. Maybe you've noticed it yourself. The hesitation when a new routine is suggested, the reluctance to try a different hobby, or the unease that comes with even small shifts in your daily life. It's perfectly natural to want comfort and familiarity. After all, those routines and habits have been our anchors for years, maybe even decades. But here's something worth thinking about. Could that fear of change be holding you back from living your fullest, happiest life? What if embracing change, instead of fearing it, could open doors to new joys, connections, and experiences you never imagined? Many seniors believe that at this stage in life, change is risky or unnecessary, that it's safer to stick with what you know. But science tells a different story. The brain, even in our later years, is remarkably adaptable, a concept called neuroplasticity. When we expose ourselves to new experiences, learn new skills, or shift our perspective, our brains form new connections, keeping us sharper and more engaged. Studies have shown that embracing change and novelty can reduce the risk of cognitive decline and even improve mood and resilience. So, rather than being a threat, change can be a powerful tool for growth and well-being. So, how can you gently overcome this fear and welcome change without feeling overwhelmed? The key is to start small and at your own pace. You don't have to make drastic life shifts overnight. It might be as simple as trying a new recipe, joining a different social group, or taking a short trip to a place you've never been before. These small adventures can build your confidence and remind you that change can be enjoyable, not frightening. Let me share the story of Helen, a 72-year-old grandmother from Arizona. Helen had always loved gardening, but was hesitant when her local community center offered a class on digital photography. At first, she felt intimidated by the cameras and technology. But with gentle encouragement, she signed up. The class introduced her to a whole new way of seeing the world. She found joy in capturing moments of nature and her grandchildren's smiles. This new hobby not only enriched her life but also connected her with a group of friends who shared her passion. Helen says, "I realized that change isn't about losing what you have, it's about adding new layers of happiness." If you're feeling stuck in your routines, I encourage you to look at change as an opportunity instead of a threat. Reflect on one small thing you've been curious about but never tried. Could today be the day to give it a chance? Remember, it's okay to feel uncertain. Change doesn't have to be perfect or immediate. It just needs to be a step forward. You deserve to feel excited and inspired by life, no matter your age. By embracing change, you're giving yourself permission to grow, learn, and experience new joys. Don't let fear keep you from the beautiful possibilities waiting just around the corner. Together, let's choose curiosity over fear and welcome the gifts that change can bring into our lives. After all, life is an ongoing journey, full of surprises, growth, and endless potential. Traps 4. Neglecting physical health. One of the most common traps that quietly steals joy and independence from many seniors is neglecting physical health. It might start innocently, skipping a walk because the weather isn't perfect, grabbing fast food instead of cooking a balanced meal, or postponing that doctor's appointment just this once. At first, these choices may seem harmless or even justified. After all, with all the changes our bodies go through, it can be tempting to think, I'm too old to start exercising now, or a little extra weight doesn't matter at my age. But over time, these small habits add up, slowly chipping away at energy, strength, and even our confidence to do the things we love. Many seniors accept aches, stiffness, or low energy as simply part of getting old. But here's an important question to consider. Is it age that's holding you back, or are there things within your control that, if cared for, could help you feel stronger, healthier, and more vibrant? Science tells us that while aging does bring changes, lifestyle choices play a huge role in determining how well our bodies function in later years. Research shows that regular physical activity, even gentle movement like walking or stretching, can improve muscle strength, balance, and cardiovascular health. It also reduces the risk of chronic illnesses such as diabetes, heart disease, and osteoporosis. Eating a nutrient-rich diet supports bone health, brain function, and overall vitality. Meanwhile, keeping up with regular medical checkups helps catch problems early, making them easier to manage. Neglecting any of these areas can lead to preventable declines that make daily life harder and less enjoyable. So, how can you begin to prioritize your physical health without feeling overwhelmed? The key is to focus on small, achievable changes that fit naturally into your routine. You don't have to train for a marathon or overhaul your diet overnight. Start by taking short walks around your neighborhood a few times a week. Try simple strength exercises you can do at home, like chair squats or gentle arm raises with light weights. Incorporate more fruits, vegetables, and whole grains into your meals, and stay hydrated by drinking plenty of water throughout the day. Scheduling regular visits with your healthcare provider is equally important. Don't wait until something feels wrong. Annual checkups and screenings can catch issues before they become serious. If you're managing chronic conditions, work closely with your doctors to keep them under control. Let me tell you about Robert, a 75-year-old retired firefighter from Michigan. Robert had always been active in his younger days, but found himself slowing down after retirement. He started gaining weight, feeling tired, and worried about losing his independence. His doctor encouraged him to join a local senior fitness class. At first, Robert was hesitant, thinking he might not keep up. But he took it one day at a time. With consistent effort, he began to regain strength and energy. Today, he enjoys gardening and playing with his grandkids again, activities he once thought were behind him. Robert says, "Taking care of my body gave me back my life." If you find yourself neglecting physical health, remember that it's never too late to start caring for your body. Each small step adds up to big improvements over time. You deserve to feel strong, capable, and free to enjoy your days. So today, ask yourself, what's one simple thing you can do to honor your body? Maybe it's a short walk after breakfast, adding an extra vegetable to dinner, or calling your doctor to schedule that overdue checkup. Whatever it is, celebrate it as a gift you're giving yourself, because your health is the foundation of your happiness. You have the power to nurture your body and, in doing so, reclaim your joy and independence. Let's take those steps together, one day at a time, toward a healthier, more vibrant you. Traps 5. Holding grudges and resentments. One of the heaviest burdens many seniors carry, often without realizing how much it weighs on their joy, is holding on to grudges and resentments. Maybe it's a disagreement with a family member that never fully healed, an old friend who let you down, or wounds from long ago that still sting when you think about them. These feelings can linger quietly, taking up space in your heart and mind, making it harder to feel at peace or truly happy. Many people accept this as a part of life, thinking, I can't just forget what happened, or it's too late to make things right. But is holding on to these grudges helping you? Or is it quietly stealing your peace and happiness? Psychologists tell us that holding grudges can have serious effects on our well-being. The stress and anger that come with resentment increase our risk for high blood pressure, heart problems, and even weaken our immune system. Mentally, it can keep us stuck in negative emotions, making it harder to feel joy or connect with others. Letting go of these heavy feelings isn't about excusing what happened or pretending the pain wasn't real. It's about freeing yourself from the grip of bitterness so you can heal and move forward. So, how can you start to release these resentments in a way that feels natural and gentle? One approach is to practice forgiveness. Not necessarily to reconcile or forget, but to permit yourself to let go of the hurt. This might begin with small steps like acknowledging your feelings honestly, writing a letter you don't send, or speaking with a trusted friend or counselor. Sometimes, simply shifting your focus from anger to understanding can bring relief. Another helpful practice is to remind yourself that forgiveness benefits you most of all. Holding on to resentment keeps you chained to the past, but forgiveness opens the door to peace and emotional freedom. It can be a gradual process, some days easier than others, but each moment of release is a step toward joy. Let me share a story about Helen, a 70-year-old woman from North Carolina. Helen had carried bitterness for years after a falling out with her sister. The resentment kept them apart, and Helen felt lonely and burdened. With encouragement from a community support group, Helen began journaling her feelings and slowly found the courage to reach out. Though reconciliation took time, the act of forgiving allowed her to release years of pain. She told me, letting go didn't just mend my relationship, it healed my heart. Helen now feels lighter, more connected, and open to new happiness. If you recognize the weight of grudges in your own life, know that it's never too late to start the journey of letting go. You deserve to live free from bitterness and full of peace. Start small, be kind to yourself, and remember that healing is a gift you give yourself. Today, ask yourself, is holding on to resentment truly serving your happiness? What might change if you chose to forgive, even just a little? Taking that first step toward release can open your heart to the joy and connection you deserve. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. You have the strength to free yourself from the past and embrace a future filled with peace and love. Let's walk this path of healing together, one forgiving moment at a time. Trap 6. Over-reliance on others. One of the subtle traps that many seniors find themselves in is over-relying on others, whether it's family members, friends, or caregivers, for daily tasks, decisions, or even emotional support. It's natural to accept help as we age. After all, none of us wants to struggle unnecessarily. But sometimes, leaning too heavily on others can quietly chip away at our sense of independence and self-worth, leaving us feeling less capable and more isolated than ever before. Many seniors think, I should just let others take care of it, they know best, or it's easier if I don't try. But is giving up control making life better? Or could it be keeping you from fully enjoying your freedom and confidence? Research shows that maintaining independence is a key factor in aging well. When seniors engage in decision-making, manage personal tasks, and stay active in daily routines, it boosts their mental health, self-esteem, and overall quality of life. Overdependence, on the other hand, can lead to feelings of helplessness, depression, and even physical decline. It's not about refusing help, but about striking a balance, keeping control where you can and asking for support when truly needed. So, how can you find that balance without feeling overwhelmed? Start by identifying areas where you can take small steps toward doing things on your own. Maybe it's managing your medications with a pill organizer instead of relying on someone else to remind you. Perhaps it's preparing a simple meal or handling your appointments. Each little accomplishment builds confidence and reinforces your independence. Technology can also be a helpful ally. Simple devices like large-button phones, easy-to-use apps for reminders, or even virtual assistants can empower you to manage tasks independently while staying connected. Don't hesitate to ask family or friends to teach you how these tools work. They want to see you succeed. Let me tell you about Tom, a 76-year-old retired engineer from Colorado. After his wife passed away, Tom found himself relying heavily on his daughter for everything, from grocery shopping to paying bills. While grateful for her help, he began feeling frustrated and lost confidence. With gentle encouragement, Tom started taking back control step by step. He learned to use an online banking app, started preparing simple meals, and scheduled his doctor visits. Today, Tom feels proud of his renewed independence and enjoys a more balanced relationship with his daughter, who's happy to see him thriving. If you're struggling with over-reliance, remember that independence isn't about doing everything alone. It's about doing what you can, when you can, and asking for help only when you truly need it. You deserve to feel capable, confident, and in charge of your own life. So today, think about one area where you can take a small step toward independence. Maybe it's setting up a weekly routine to manage your medications, learning a new app, or cooking a favorite meal. Celebrate these wins. They're the building blocks of your freedom and joy. You have the strength and wisdom to live with dignity and control. Let's take those steps together toward a more empowered, joyful life, one small victory at a time. Trap 7. Negative self-talk. One of the most damaging yet often unnoticed traps that quietly steals joy from many seniors is negative self-talk. It's that little voice inside your head that says things like, "I'm too old to try," "I'm not as sharp as I used to be," or "there's nothing new for me anymore." These thoughts might seem harmless or even realistic, but over time, they can chip away at your confidence, motivation, and happiness. Many people accept this inner dialogue as normal with age, believing that self-criticism is just part of growing older. But what if this way of thinking isn't your truth, but a trap you can break free from? Research in psychology shows that the way we talk to ourselves has a profound impact on our mental and physical health. Negative self-talk increases stress, lowers self-esteem, and can contribute to feelings of depression and anxiety. On the other hand, cultivating positive and compassionate inner dialogue has been shown to improve mood, boost resilience, and even enhance cognitive function. Your brain is wired to respond to the stories you tell yourself, so changing that story can change your experience. So, how do you begin to shift from negative self-talk to a kinder, more empowering inner voice? The first step is awareness. Pay attention to the thoughts you're having without judgment. When you catch yourself thinking, "I can't," or "I'm too old," gently challenge those ideas. Ask yourself, "Is this true?" Or, "What would I say to a dear friend who felt this way?" Often, you'll find that your harshest critic is yourself, and your kindest ally can be you, too. A practical exercise is to write down common negative thoughts you experience and then rewrite them into positive affirmations. For example, "I'm too old to learn" can become, "I have a lifetime of experience and I'm always capable of learning new things." Repeat these affirmations daily, perhaps in the morning or before bed, to help retrain your brain. Let me share a story about Linda, a 68-year-old retired nurse from Florida. Linda used to tell herself she was too slow and not good with technology, which kept her from trying new things. But after attending a local mindfulness workshop, she learned how to recognize and change her negative self-talk. Slowly, she began encouraging herself instead of doubting. Linda now enjoys video calls with her grandchildren and has even started an online book club. She says, "Changing how I talk to myself changed how I live my life." If you find yourself trapped in negative self-talk, remember that it's never too late to rewrite your inner story. You deserve to speak to yourself with kindness, respect, and encouragement every single day. Start small. Notice your thoughts, challenge the negative ones, and replace them with words that uplift and inspire. So today, I invite you to listen closely to your inner voice. What's one negative thought you can gently transform into a positive one? Celebrate this step as an act of self-love and empowerment. You have the power to be your own greatest supporter. By changing your self-talk, you open the door to greater confidence, joy, and peace. Let's walk this path together, speaking kindly to ourselves every step of the way. Traps 8. Ignoring mental health. One of the most overlooked and yet deeply impactful traps many seniors fall into is ignoring their mental health. It's easy to focus on physical aches or medications and forget that our minds need care just as much as our bodies. Many seniors believe that feelings of sadness, anxiety, or loneliness are just part of getting old, something to be endured quietly rather than addressed. But what if those feelings are signals that need attention, not signs that you simply have to accept? Could ignoring your mental health be quietly stealing your joy and making daily life harder than it has to be? Science tells us that mental health is just as important as physical health for living a full, happy life. Conditions like depression and anxiety are common among older adults, but they're not inevitable or untreatable. Left unaddressed, mental health challenges can increase risks for physical illnesses, impair cognitive function, and reduce the quality of life. On the other hand, caring for your mental health can improve your energy, relationships, and even your ability to manage other health conditions. So, how can you start paying gentle, loving attention to your mental well-being? It begins with awareness and acceptance, recognizing when you're feeling down, anxious, or isolated and understanding that it's okay to seek help. Talking openly with trusted family members, friends, or health professionals can provide relief and support. Sometimes, simply sharing your feelings lifts the burden. Many seniors find comfort and healing through practices like mindfulness, meditation, or gentle yoga, which calm the mind and reduce stress. Staying socially connected, whether through community groups, volunteer work, or regular phone calls, also strengthens mental resilience. If feelings of sadness or anxiety persist, seeking professional help is a strong and courageous step. Therapists, counselors, and support groups can offer guidance tailored to your unique experience. I want to share the story of David, a 73-year-old retired teacher from Oregon. After losing his wife, David felt overwhelmed by loneliness and grief, but didn't want to burden his children. He withdrew and stopped doing things he once loved. A family friend gently encouraged him to see a counselor. Through therapy and joining a local senior hiking group, David rediscovered joy and connection. He told me, "Taking care of my mind helped me heal my heart." If you find yourself ignoring your mental health, know that you are not alone and that help is available. You deserve to feel peace, happiness, and connection. Mental health care is not a sign of weakness. It's a vital part of living well at any age. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Today, I invite you to check in with yourself. How are you feeling? What small step can you take toward nurturing your mental well-being? It might be as simple as calling a friend, going for a walk outside, or making an appointment with a counselor. You have the strength and courage to care for your mind, just as you do your body. Together, let's break the silence around mental health and open the door to greater joy, resilience, and peace in your life. Traps 9. Letting go of passions and hobbies. One of the most joyful parts of life is found in our passions and hobbies, the activities that light us up, bring us peace, or spark our curiosity. Yet, as we grow older, it's surprisingly easy to let go of these cherished interests. Maybe you stopped painting because your eyesight isn't as sharp, or you gave up playing the piano because your fingers don't move as quickly. Perhaps you used to love gardening, but now it feels like too much work. Many seniors quietly give up these passions, thinking they're no longer relevant or that it's time to slow down. But what if letting go of your passions isn't an inevitable part of aging, but rather a trap that steals away joy and purpose? What if reigniting these interests could bring new energy, connection, and meaning to your days? Research shows that staying engaged in hobbies and passions has incredible benefits for seniors. Activities that stimulate the mind, body, or soul can improve cognitive function, reduce stress, and even lower the risk of depression. Hobbies help us maintain a sense of identity, offer opportunities to socialize, and create moments of pure happiness. Letting go of these activities means losing more than just a pastime. It's losing a vital part of what makes life rich and fulfilling. So, how can you gently reclaim your passions, even if it's been a while since you last engaged in them? The key is to start small and adjust your approach to fit your current needs and abilities. For example, if painting is your love but fine motor skills are a challenge, try larger brushes or different mediums like clay or collage. If gardening feels too physically demanding, consider container gardening or tending to indoor plants. Technology can also open new doors. There are countless online classes and virtual communities that make it easy to connect with others who share your interests, all from the comfort of home. Let me share a story about Jane, a 71-year-old retired librarian from Wisconsin. Jane loved knitting but had stopped after her arthritis made it painful. Feeling disconnected, she thought her creative days were behind her. One day, a friend introduced her to adaptive knitting tools and local craft groups that welcomed beginners and seniors. Slowly, Jane started knitting again, finding joy in creating scarves and blankets for her grandchildren. She said, "Rediscovering my passion gave me a reason to smile every day and brought new friends into my life." If you've been thinking about putting aside your passions, I encourage you to reconsider. It's never too late to explore, create, or simply enjoy what makes you feel alive. These hobbies are gifts you give yourself, sources of comfort, challenge, and connection. So today, think about one passion or hobby that you've missed or wanted to try. What's one small step you can take to bring it back into your life? Maybe it's dusting off old supplies, signing up for a class, or chatting with someone who shares your interest. Whatever it is, honor that desire and permit yourself to pursue it again. You deserve a life filled with the colors, sounds, and joys that your passions bring. Reclaiming these parts of yourself is a powerful way to live fully and happily, no matter your age. Let's celebrate the creativity and curiosity that keep our spirits young and vibrant, one joyful moment at a time. As we come to the end of this journey through the 9 common traps that can quietly steal our joy, I want to remind you of one important truth. Growing older does not mean giving up on happiness, independence, or the things that make life meaningful. These traps, whether it's social isolation, dwelling on regrets, fearing change, neglecting our health, holding grudges, over-relying on others, negative self-talk, ignoring mental health, or letting go of passions, are challenges we can face and overcome with kindness, patience, and small, thoughtful steps. Remember Dorothy, who found new friends through yoga, Jim, who started writing later in life, Helen, who embraced change with digital photography, Robert, who rediscovered strength through simple exercise, and so many others who chose to take back their joy. Their stories show us that it's never too late to make a positive change. Your life is still unfolding, filled with potential and moments worth savoring. Each day is an opportunity to reconnect with yourself, with others, and with the world around you. It starts with recognizing these traps, then gently choosing actions that bring you closer to the joyful, vibrant life you deserve. So, what is one thing you've learned today that you can bring into your life? Maybe it's reaching out to a friend, forgiving a past hurt, taking a short walk, or simply speaking kindly to yourself. Whatever it is, share it in the comments below. Your experience might inspire someone else on this journey. If you found value in this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Let's continue walking this path together, supporting each other to live fully, happily, and with heart, no matter our age. Thank you for watching, and remember, your joy matters, today and every day.